There's a silent kind of death that doesn't happen in the body. It happens in your spirit. It begins the moment you start carrying people who refuse to walk. You tell yourself it's compassion. You call it loyalty. But deep down, you know, it's fear. Fear of being the bad guy. Fear of letting people fall. Fear of being alone. You've spent years giving your energy to the wrong people. The ones who drain you, doubt you, and disappear when you need them most. You've tried to fix them, defend them, and understand them. And in the process, you became a shadow of yourself. That's the brutal truth no one tells you. Not everyone deserves your help. Because some people don't want to be saved. They want to stay broken while you bleed for them. Stoicism teaches that mercy without wisdom becomes weakness. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." In other words, be willing to look cold when you choose peace over chaos. You owe no one your destruction. This video isn't about becoming heartless. It's about becoming disciplined. By the end, you'll understand why helping the wrong person is an act of self-betrayal, and how true strength means protecting your energy like a fortress. Stay until the end, because the fifth type of person isn't just dangerous. They're the kind who can ruin your entire life if you let them. 1. The perpetual victim. Some people don't want freedom. They want sympathy. They don't seek a ladder out of the pit. They want company in the darkness. You've met them before. The friend who always has a new tragedy, a fresh wound, a story that demands your attention. At first, you listen, you encourage, you sacrifice time and sleep to lift them. But no matter what you say, no matter how much you give, they never climb. They spiral. Every time you try to help, they find another reason why life is unfair, why it's never their fault. Soon, their pain becomes your atmosphere. You start to carry it, like a fog you can't escape. The victim mind is addicted to suffering. It feeds on validation, not victory. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But the perpetual victim rejects this truth. They cling to weakness because it absolves them of responsibility. In psychology, it's called learned helplessness. When a person becomes so used to failure that they no longer believe change is possible, so they trade action for attention. And every time you save them, you confirm their delusion that they can't save themselves. You think you're helping, but you're feeding the disease. The Stoics would tell you, compassion must serve truth, not comfort. Walk away from the perpetual victim, not out of cruelty, but out of clarity. Because the longer you carry those who refuse to rise, the more your strength turns into their excuse to stay weak. 2. The entitled manipulator. There's a breed of person who studies kindness like a weapon. They smile, they flatter, they thank you, until the moment you say no. Then the mask cracks, and you see what they really wanted. Control. You felt it. That subtle guilt when you hesitate to help someone again. The voice that says, if you don't, you're selfish. You give in. You lend money, time, energy. And for a while, it feels good. You think you're doing the right thing. But watch closely. The gratitude fades. The demands grow. They twist your generosity into obligation. Now every boundary feels like betrayal. Every refusal becomes a crime. And suddenly you realize you were never respected, only used. The manipulator thrives on guilt. They understand what Marcus Aurelius warned. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If they can stain your thoughts with shame, they can control your actions without ever raising their voice. Psychologically, they operate through narcissistic entitlement, the belief that your empathy exists to serve their emptiness. To them, your virtue is a resource. Your boundaries are insults. And every time you help them, you reinforce their illusion that the world owes them obedience. Mercy without discernment becomes surrender. The Stoics believe discipline is love in its highest form, because it protects both parties from corruption. So the next time someone mistakes your kindness for weakness, remember, you're not cold for saying no. You're wise for not feeding the snake. 3. The eternal complainer. Some people don't speak to solve problems. They speak to stay trapped in them. Their words are prisons disguised as conversations. They drain your mind not because they're evil, but because they've made despair their identity. You know the type. Every time you meet, the air grows heavier. They complain about their job, their relationships, the government, the world, but never themselves. You try to inspire them. You suggest change, growth, a plan, but your words dissolve into nothing. They don't want a solution. They want an audience. And slowly you notice, their bitterness starts echoing inside you. You walk away from the conversation exhausted, as if you've carried a weight that wasn't yours. Energy is contagious. The mind absorbs the tone of the company it keeps. Marcus Aurelius warned, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind." The complainer, trapped in his fixation on what's wrong, becomes blind to what's within his control. Psychologists call it negative bias, the tendency to see only flaws, threats, and failures. To the complainer, suffering becomes familiar, and familiarity becomes comfort. They reject responsibility because complaining feels safer than changing. You cannot rise while surrounded by those who refuse to climb. Silence is the Stoic answer to endless noise. When they start to complain, let your stillness be your statement, because every minute spent arguing with misery is a minute stolen from your purpose. 4. The emotional leech. Some people don't want love, they want fuel. They feed on your empathy until your spirit feels hollow. And when you finally pull away, they call you cold for protecting the very soul they've been consuming. You've been here before. It starts with compassion. You see their pain, the sadness in their voice, the chaos in their life, and something inside you wants to help. You listen, console, and carry their emotions like your own. They message you late at night, they say, "You're the only one who understands me," and you believe it until you realize they're not healing, they're feeding. They don't seek growth, they seek dependency. Their comfort comes not from your wisdom, but from your attention. Soon you're exhausted, emotionally starved, yet still giving. You become their therapist, savior, and sacrificial lamb, all at once. Epictetus said, "When someone is properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside themselves for approval." The emotional leech is ungrounded, a black hole of insecurity. They mistake connection for rescue and love for endless reassurance. Psychologically, they operate through emotional enmeshment, blurring boundaries until your peace becomes their property. They call it closeness, but it's consumption, and the more you give, the less of yourself remains. Compassion without boundaries is self-erasure. Stoicism teaches, to master your emotions, you must guard your energy. Let go of those who drain you, not out of hatred, but out of self-respect. Because every time you carry someone unwilling to stand, you abandon the duty to stand tall yourself. 5. The one who refuses accountability. You can't save someone who runs from their reflection. They'll destroy everything in their path, and when the dust settles, they'll blame you for standing too close. You've seen it. The friend who always has a villain in their story. The boss who ruins every team but insists everyone else was the problem. The partner who repeats the same cycle year after year. Chaos, regret, apology, repeat. You try to reason with them. You show them patterns. You hold up the mirror. But they flinch at it, like light burning through illusion. They twist your honesty into betrayal, and before you know it, their storm becomes yours. You're cleaning up damage that isn't yours to own. This is the most dangerous type of person, the one who refuses to face themselves. Epictetus warned, "You cannot teach a man what he thinks he already knows." They live in denial, a fragile world built on excuses and projection. Psychologically, this is narcissistic defense, the refusal to confront one's flaws because admitting fault feels like death to the ego. To them, accountability is not growth, it's humiliation. And when you try to help, they'll make you the scapegoat for every failure they create. The Stoics understood, no man can change another who rejects reason. You must learn to let such people fall, not out of cruelty, but truth. Because every time you protect someone from their consequences, you rob them of the pain that was meant to awaken them. And in the process, you trade your peace for their chaos. Conclusion: guard your strength. You were never meant to save everyone. That's the first truth of strength, the one the world does not want you to know. Because if you waste your fire lighting the path for those who choose darkness, you'll wake up one day empty, wondering where all your light went. You see, Not all kindness is good. Sometimes it's a mask for fear. Fear of rejection, fear of guilt, fear of standing alone. But a man who cannot say no will spend his life chained to those who never deserved his yes. The Stoics called it the discipline of assent, the mastery of saying only yes to what aligns with reason. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Being good doesn't mean being available to everyone. It means being loyal to truth, not to weakness. It means understanding that mercy without boundaries breeds corruption, in them and in you. You were born to carry weight, but not every burden. To lift, but not to be drained. To lead, but not to bleed for those who refuse to rise. That is self-mastery. That is the fortress within. So when you walk through life, remember this. Not everyone deserves your help. Some deserve your silence. Some deserve your distance. And some deserve the pain of their own choices. Be ruthless with your compassion. Be selective with your mercy. And when people call you heartless for protecting your peace, remember, even a lion doesn't apologize for leaving the wounded behind. If this spoke to your core, share it. Subscribe to Timeless Stoic Mind, where strong minds sharpen, and the weak either rise or fade away.